The rat poison tractor from John Fairbanks. Army, here's a great way to test drive it in competition at Bowling Green.
I'm kind of wondering about the warranty right now. Let's watch Scott leave that starting line a little bit. Okay, shook on him right there real quick. Now he's onto the throttle. Notice the driver how violently he's working his steering wheel. That's really to no avail. He's actually steering it with his speed. You can see him pumping the left foot trying to pull it down. Good test run.
Ends up second at 290.4.
Second of all, what's it going to take to win this thing tonight?
I think it's going to take quite a bit of tire speed. It's pulling a little bit of the motor down, but I think it's going to take some tire speed. Like I said, first and the second time I ever sat to see this tractor, we're fairly happy with the run we had.
Thanks, Army. Up next to pull is Larry Kester out of Wadesville, Indiana, in a mini rod called Footloose. The name of that tractor is a good indication of the character that is Larry Kester, a character that has regrouped from a near tragic accident to become one of the country's best mini rod pullers. 2 years ago, Kester was mowing the land around the home he shares with his wife Caesar when the tractor overturned on him. Kester was badly burned, and doctors later removed both of his legs. An accident like that would have ended active lives for a lot of people, but not Kester. He has bounced back strong. He shrugs off the incident as one of those things in life that builds character. As Kester says, it was an accident that you least expect to happen.
I guess there was a spot up in the field that I missed, and I got back, evidently I got back up on the bank, and the bank caved away and the tractor overturned, causing me to have a head injury. And at that time I was unconscious underneath the tractor, and then the tractor ignited in fire. It was a gas tractor. My brothers and dad and some neighbors ended up getting the tractor back off of me and got me back out from underneath the tractor and revived me. And then the lifeline flew me to Evansville, and from Evansville I flew to Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis, where I spent 4 months up there. You know, it was one of the things you least expect.
Kester remembers nothing about the incident. In fact, it was several weeks later before he knew what had happened. And it wasn't until that time that he discovered his legs were gone.
I didn't lose memory. It was just that I have no recollection of what happened from the time I left the house until like 6 weeks later when I woke up. And even at that time, I didn't realize for like 2 or 3 days what had actually happened. It was, you know, I got burned so bad that they had to take them off, and it was, you know, no recollection at all. It was just like one day I was here and the next day I was here shorter.
The loss of legs would have meant the end of an active life for most people, but not for Kester. He loves pulling enough to figure out a way to make it work. And he got a lot of help from friends. Those friends just wouldn't let him quit.
Well, I always liked tractor pulling. I like the competition. And I didn't want to, you know, a lot of different people wanted me to get into wheelchair basketball and things like that, but I like tractor pulling. I tractor pulled before, and it seemed like now, they always say you drive by the seat of your pants, and that's about the only real feel I've got for it, and it helps me hook the tractor a lot better. And the guys I run around with, they treat me just like they always did, you know, and they help me whenever I need to be helped. And I don't want to be treated any different than anyone else. I want to be treated like the rest of people, you know, and I think a lot of handicapped people feel the same way, but everybody either feels sorry for them or they treat them different. And those kind of people and myself, we just want to be like everybody else.
Here goes his pull, and Army, it's an unusual brake system with Larry.
For what it is, normally each wheel is operated by pushing on a brake pedal. Now Larry has set up a system where he pulls on the brake pedal with his upper limbs that were not taken off the accident. That's why he can still run head-to-head with these guys.
There's his pull, not good enough to knock Glenn Gunther off that top spot with his full pull. Kester's pull is 273.1. Let's see what he thought about it.
Well, Larry, you lined it up on the right side of the track, and you didn't look like you moved the steering wheel at all. The tractor was going great, and then it started drifting to the left. What caused that?
I believe I got a tire come down a little on me. Tractor tends to, when the front end comes up, wants to turn to the left a little bit. I didn't want to get out of it, and I didn't really want to hit the brakes, and I thought it might stay in, but right there at the last, I was afraid I was going to go out of bounds. I backed out of it a little bit, but I was a little nose heavy, I believe.
You heard the story of Larry Kester today. Any way you look at it, you can forget the rest of it. He's just one of the best tractor pullers in the country. Obviously, he's also a great inspiration to all of us.
Yeah, no excuses at all. He's a competitor, isn't he, Scott?
Absolutely. Here's Ron Vandertucken's showdown. Now, Ron will try to force a pull-off. We've talked about it. Glenn Gunther has been the only guy to take it out of here. Vandertuck is the last guy to take a shot at him. Let's see if he can get there.
He's laid all his cards on the table. Is it going to be enough? We're watching for the white line. Not going to do it. Gunther standing tall in Bowling Green.
It'll be an excellent pull at 278.11, but that will not land him in the top 5 as Showdown falls just a little bit short. It's Glenn Gunther and Tough It Up that takes it home from Bowling Green. Scott Amy in Red Poison ran second. The Red Fox third. Bell Blosser's Hillbilly Shaker fourth. We talked about Larry Kester. He runs ninth in Footloose against the world's best at Bowling Green. Back in Bowling Green, Ohio with the TNT All-American Pulling Series here on Tough Tracks. I'm Scott Douglas with Army Armstrong and Chris Chapman. Boy, you talk about the big and the bad dogs. Here they come out now in the modified tractors. Fred Freeman, Mean Mistreater. We've talked about all the engine combinations, Army. We're going to see them right now.
Well, this sport is determined by weight. I don't care how many engines you put on that rascal. As long as it weighs the right amount, you're going to be in a ballpark. Freeman's going after a lead distance right now that has already been established of 274 and 11. He relies on alcohol-burning Chevrolet engines to make the horsepower. Each engine will generate around 1,500 horsepower. So let's see what it's going to be. An interesting part of this sport, and a lot of people do not pay attention to it, the wheel speed over 160 mile an hour.
Army's got to get past 274.11 to get the lead. So let's watch for that distance.
Weight box comes up on him. Freeman's got some ground speed, goes right down the middle of the Bowling Green clay. Looks like a decent run. Real good. Hey, he's there. 285 we get.
285.40 to be exact. Your new leader, Fred Freeman.
Freddie, what's your assumption of the run? Satisfied with it?
Yes, Army. I just took over the lead. There's some big horsepower tractors back there, but I just beat some guys that have got equal or more horsepower than I do, and I had a real good run, and I run a little extra heavy weight on the front tonight to keep the front end down. I think that was the secret to making it work here on this track.
Did you have to use the brakes at all on your run?
I was tapping the right brake lightly to keep me over there because it seems like if it ever drug you over to the left, it just sucked you right out of bounds. I've had that problem up here before.
The Sassy Massy up next. Rick Ilsley, all the way out of New Hampshire, be in Bowling Green, Ohio for the granddaddy of all the outdoor pulls.
Now, Rick used to drive this tractor years ago, got out of the driver's seat. He's coming back in it at the granddaddy of them all. Relies on the awesome Chrysler horsepower. Look at this. He's banging it on the right side of the track. Oh, right there. He's out of the ballpark.
Rick Ilsley is our first one to go all the way. A full pull for the Sassy Massy. And we'll see if anybody can catch him and force a pull-off. But what a great run, Army. Here he comes again.
You know, I guess it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Once you can drive one of these behemoth monster tractors, you can just climb right back on it. That's exactly what this young man did.
Thanks to Sassy Massy right out of Bowling Green. So Rick Ilsley has a full pull. That's the distance not to beat now. All you can do is equal it and force a pull-off. And a guy who has that capability is up next, Dave Walsh and the Irish Challenger.
Walsh relies on the Arius racing engines. Around $30,000 a pop. Horsepower will not be the problem. And Walsh figure out what groove to take. He wants the Sassy Massy in front of him. He set all his weights. He's looking awfully good right now. Oh, they figured this clay out in Bowling Green. Look at this.
He's gone, a full pull. So it's been a tough weekend in some other categories for Dave Walsh and the Irish Challenger. But here, he is taking it into the pull-off.
So far, 1989 had been a good year. Then you come into Bowling Green, and it's like there's a monkey on your back. I think the monkey is gone now after that run.
I hope so. It was a good run, and I'm here to kick some butt, and I think I'll try my hardest to do it.
He'll have a chance to do a little more kicking. There's going to be a pull-off later. Right now, another fellow with the capabilities to get in there, Mike Piper, and just add dirt. He's already got a Bowling Green win this year.
He's got a Bowling Green win in a lighter class, but what's happened here, the complexity of the class has changed. You cannot win the class with one run. With all this horsepower, you must make two runs now. You got to make a full pull and then come back getting the pull-off. Can Piper do it? Look at the tire speed, the dirt coming up. Oh, some horsepower.
Mike Piper does it, a full pull and just add dirt. You know, Mike is chasing Tim Engler for the points title, and this was critical to get into this pull-off. He does it, and we'll go into the pull-off. Now there are 3 in there. Let's get some words, though, from Mike Piper and Just Add Dirt.
Mike Piper, you just